Hi, welcome to Roys Rambles. Now, people have asked me why Roys Rambles, and the answer to that is fairly simple. We're going to be doing a number of these shoots, and we're going to be rambling around the country doing them. The other thing is, of course, I do tend to ramble. So, Roys Rambles. I'm Roy, and the person behind the camera is Mark. So today we're here in sunny Wales on a crisp December morning, and we're at Trevor. Now behind us is the pathway to the aqueduct, which is Telford's masterpiece, and crosses the River Dee, the Dee Valley there. So basically, let's go and have a look. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of the bridge, and the first thing you'll see as you walk in is this stone memorial with all these bits stuck onto it. It's called the Hand of History, and all these items that have been stuck onto the stone are all from local industry that no longer exists, and act as a memorial. The bits of brick and the bits of chain and metal, etc. So this will be the first thing that you actually see. Now the actual viaduct is behind us, and for those of you who want the facts and figures about the bridge, here they are, all laid out for you. Some of you may be completing an assignment, something of that sort, and I want the facts and figures. Others just might be a bit nerdy like myself, and want the facts and figures just because I want to know. I've always been a nosy bugger. I'm no different today. Hi, so here we are at the beginning of the viaduct now, and this is...
I'm Caroline from the Canal and River Trust.
And she knows all the facts and figures about the viaduct, obviously, but she also knows some other interesting things. I believe that actually the viaduct was originally going to be a set of locks and a smaller viaduct.
Yeah, essentially the original plan was to build a set of lock gates through here plus a smaller aqueduct. However, on thinking about it, they actually realised that that was going to take a lot longer than the 10 years that this aqueduct took to complete, and also the journey would have taken a lot longer. At that time, with all these minerals from the area, wasn't making anybody any money until it was at its final destination and being sold. So to keep the journey shorter, the building of this aqueduct actually helped them. Got everything from start to finish a lot sooner.
Of course, it's quite a drop.
It is, yeah.
And so they would have needed quite a staircase of locks going both down
there would have been
and
up.
Yeah,
so many. So the actual work to complete it would have taken a lot longer than the 10 years that this took.
And the cost, of course.
The cost would have been significantly more than the £47,000 that this took. That was a fortune back then.
Of course.
Try to replicate that now. You can add several zeros onto the end of that, for sure.
Yes, of course.
So it would have taken longer, it would have cost more, and the actual final journey would have taken longer as well. So all in all, this huge, wonderful aqueduct was the better option.
A miracle of its time, actually.
Completely.
And I think I also read somewhere that the cast iron, which the actual troughs are made out that span the pillars, cast iron was a new material, and it was like a modern material at the time.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely.
You know, never been used in anything,
and a lot of it's
like
only
this
come
before.
from either Kevin Mauer, just over there, or from Shrewsbury, from Roys William Hazeldene's foundries over in Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
So yeah, all very much local. The stone that it's made from, local as well, hand built. Each pillar is hollow from a certain point upwards because of the weight on the bottom of the structure. The trough itself is 5'3" deep. Didn't need to be any deeper because, again, the weight of the water, there's a lot of tonnage of water in that trough. So the weight of that on the structure, they needed to just make sure that they were very careful with that. There's enough there to carry the boats and the weight of the loads they're carrying, not too much that it was too much.
That's an interesting point you made there about the boats and the load, because most people think that the actual strain on the bridge increases when boats go over. But the truth is that because of displacement, the weight of the boat pushes the water out in front of it and behind it, and also under the walkway. So no matter how many boats are on the viaduct, and the actual weight never changes.
It's not limited to one at a time. There can be many going across there at any particular time. It's the weight of the water that's actually holding that trough in place. Yes, there are certain things keeping it there, but obviously with restriction and contraction due to temperature, they couldn't bolt it in too tight. They had to allow for that movement.
And that's why they had to use the oxblood and lime in order to seal the troughs, which at the time was the go-to thing.
I know who decided that would work. I don't know who actually discovered that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably
very forward-thinking minds. Probably, and they must be saluted.
Probably one of Telford's inventions, probably one of his own or one of his engineers.
Yeah, very, very.
Anyway, it's been very interesting talking to you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I hope you do well with your fundraising for the River Trust.
We do need all the help that we can get. So if anybody loves canals, the history, the wildlife, then pop along and see one of us.
Do you have a website?
We do, canalrivertrust.org.uk.
Okay, well, anybody watching this,
absolutely, please do. If you love the canals and the wildlife and the history, please do support us, because we are losing an awful lot of our government funding.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we'll carry on with the. Well, here at the beginning of the aqueduct, Telford's famous aqueduct, we have the cast iron rails. Same at the other end as well, as it happens. But an interesting fact, and something I'd like to draw your attention to, is the rub marks on these rails. Now these grooves are caused by the ropes rubbing on them from the horses that were towing the actual barges. And as they pulled the barges across the bridge, the ropes rubbed these grooves, which got deeper and deeper and deeper over hundreds of years. Now, many of these supports have been replaced over the years, but not these ones. These ones won't be replaced. They're part of history, and in a way they're a kind of monument to all those horses. Thousands and thousands and thousands of horses that pulled thousands and thousands and thousands of barges laden with heavy loads across this viaduct. As you can see, we stood below the actual archway, cast iron arch, which supports the weight of the canal, and the trough on top, spanning the arches, spanning the pillows. As we've said previously, all cast iron, the miracle material of the time. If you look to the actual left, then you'll see the pillow stretching across the valley, and you'll see the steps going down to the river below. An amazing structure. I think everybody would agree with that. And a thing of beauty, I think. A general marvel. And a beautiful location. Yeah, as you can see, there is a current flowing through the viaduct. You can see from the leaves on the water passing along. This channel is actually this water is actually taken further upstream from the river and channeled into the canal and down here. It goes all the way down to Wolverhampton, where it's used by the city as drinking water. So it's not only a canal; it's actually a means of transporting water to Wolverhampton. The current, though, is about 1 knot, 1 to 2 knots, depends really how fast it's flowing. But it does hinder boats coming actually up and across the bridge. And if it wasn't for this walkway that we're stood on, which the canal goes underneath, to displace the water, then the boats really just wouldn't be able to make it over the viaduct at all. Yeah. So if you look to the left, you can see the tremendous drop down to the valley below, and of course the River Dee, running below the viaduct. Now, I personally think that the viaduct is nothing of beauty, really. A miracle of its age, definitely. But I don't think we should ever forget that, first of all, that all this work was done by Welshmen, local tradesmen, local stones, and many of them lost their lives building this aqueduct. They fell from a great height and sadly were killed. There is a local legend that on certain nights of the year, ghostly apparitions can be seen walking across the bridge from one side to the other, and they're said to be the spirits of the workmen that were killed. So if you're into anything like that, then come along one evening and have a look for yourself. You may be surprised.